global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news for you, and the headline reads, "No going back over this decision," federal government says, and Nigerians and other organizations react to this. See details. But before we go into the news proper and further analysis, would you like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update channel on YouTube. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. Following the plan by federal government to import Chinese doctors to help combat the spread of coronavirus in the country, the Coalition of United Political Parties (CUPP) yesterday warned that they will hold President Muhammadu Buhari responsible if the situation gets worse. The CUPP added that the move by the federal government is unnecessary, in bad faith, and a direct expression of loss of confidence on Nigerian doctors and other frontline medical health workers who have risked their lives daily despite the huge constraints and inadequacies they face to do a marvelous job of treating patients of deadly virus with a very good success rate. CUPP, in a statement by spokesman Ikenga Imo Ugochinyere, said that rather than import Chinese doctors into the country, the government have shown support to the Nigerian doctors. The government could have shown support to the Nigerian doctors by providing adequate and sufficient personal protective equipment (PPE) for them to ensure they are safe while doing their job. Asking the presidency why did the government not work with the Nigerian Medical and Dental Council in line with the provision of the law before coming to ill-timed decision to import Chinese doctors, the coalition noted that there were reports of doctors and other health workers in the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, University of Ibadan Teaching Hospital, Era Special Teaching Hospital, and the Abafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital, to mention but a few, already dangerously exposed to patients who have tested positive for the COVID-19. CUPP said the Nigerian Dental Medical Council Act provides that the council must be made aware and grant approvals before such steps are taken by government to bring in foreign medical doctors into the country to see Nigerian patients. We stand with the Nigerian Medical Association that has rejected this move, and indeed all Nigerians should reject the move now. The arrival of Chinese doctors in Italy unfortunately coincided with the spike in the contracting the death rate in that country, which made it to so soon be the country with the most deaths, which made it the country that had the most deaths. It could be a mere coincidence, but since the spike, what have the Chinese doctors done to improve the situation in Italy, with the thousands of deaths that have occurred since then? Are the Chinese doctors going to come to help us wrap our recovery rate, which is very high at the moment, or are they coming to know why we are not dying like chickens, like it happened in United States, Spain, Italy, France, and so on? What will be their true mission? Who has run real background checks on these doctors to ascertain their latent intention? The pandemic is still killing people in China. They are still grappling with it. Where were these Chinese doctors when thousands of their citizens died from the virus? Are the agents of the Communist Party on a mission different from what they are present? Must the federal government continue with actions that daily mortgages our country the more? Is the timing of this coming of the Chinese doctors at this point in time is not very suspicious? What he's saying is the timing of this coming of the Chinese doctors at this point, is it not very suspicious? Will these doctors not infiltrate our system and conduct unknown clinical trials on patients? The unanswered questions are legions. They are much. The CUPP expressed concern that everything about the importation or invitation of Chinese doctors by the presidency is totally rejected, absolutely rejected, as it is very dangerous, in violation of the laws, a distraction from the good work being done so far, and a misplacement of priorities capable of turning the table against Nigeria. Government must not take must not at such a time express loss of confidence on its medical workers who are without relevant protection and are grossly underpaid, yet doing marvelously well in a situation which has received international acclaim. The Nigerian Medical Association did not ask for the help. Neither are we aware that the Nigerian Center for Disease Control made the request for the Chinese doctors. The Director General of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control did not also claim that he did not get adequate experience from his recent visit to China. If the president had shut our air and land borders on time, the Italian and other index cases would not have landed. Or if the president enforced mandatory 14 days quarantine for all passengers from high-risk countries, the cases of community transmission being currently witnessed now would not be the case. The self-isolation policy employed by the government was weak, unserious, and lack of concern for the health of Nigerians. The president has since run under his bed for fear of contracting the disease. The president lost power and not the responsibility that comes with holding power, the coalition said. The CUPP cautioned the federal government to keep the Chinese doctors away from the country and support the health workers with equipment, test kits, contracting, tracing logistics, and sustainable hunger-fighting palliatives, and not the share to a few joke called social intervention palliative by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development that she's doing. Let the world hear us clearly. Nigerians do not need the Chinese doctors' physical presence. Their technological means like teleconferencing, Skype, and other types of video calls in use in the medical field, where doctors thousands of kilometers away are consulted to review and give expert advice on patient cases. Nigeria must leverage on such technology at this time. Nigerians will have no option but to hold the president personally responsible if he forces these Chinese doctors on citizens and the situation gets worse, or there are messy reports about unapproved actions by the doctors. The president is the only head of state in the whole country who has holed up and hidden inside presidential villa since the virus outbreak. He is the only president who is not constantly selling hope and reassurance to citizens, and is the only president in the world who is not recognizing the near-suicidal effort of their country's health workers to contain this pandemic. What incentives has the president provided for our health workers? Has he even said the word thank you to these lifesavers? Has the president called on citizens to appreciate them? Rather, he passes a vote of no confidence on them with an ill-timed, thoughtless, morale-dampening move to bring in Chinese doctors. If he wants the Chinese doctors for himself and his family in the villa like he has always sought foreign medical treatment, that is his problem. But for Nigerians, we are comfortable with the work of Nigerian doctors like we have always been, and we will resist anyone who wants to ridicule their good works, the CUPP said. The coalition added that the presidency must ensure that when their doctors come for them, they must be compulsorily isolated for the mandatory 14 days to be sure they will not carry a different strain of disease into the country. Mr. President, every good thing you touch goes bad. Please leave Nigerian doctors alone to continue their good work. CUPP wants. Wow, that's a long read. But honestly, they have spoken so much. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians over this thing they have said online, because, they kept on mentioning the fact that the doctors are doing so well. So why are you inviting Chinese to come in? For what? Now, when Chinese people came the last time they came in Italy, there was really no visible difference, really. People still died. People are still dying in Italy. So why are you why are you changing it? A winning team. Thus far, the medical doctors in Nigeria have been winning team. They've been winning back to back. They've been having cases of recovery faster than one would think. But why are you now insisting on bringing Chinese doctors? The doctors in Nigeria have still not complained that it's overwhelming yet. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians over this, strong words spoken by CUPP. Don't forget that the presidency has said no going back on this, that he's going to, that's the presidency now, say they're bringing in Chinese doctors. But worst case they will do, they will practice social distancing. They will be a bit far away from the patient, but they need to come to curb it because they have some sort of, they have more technological advancement more than our medical doctors and all whatnot. But let's see what Nigerians are saying over this matter. That's why I say PNB has no good advisor. If he goes ahead to import Chinese doctors, let them treat Buhari families first and let them go back to China. So what kind of rubbish idea is this? Who is advising Buhari on such a dangerous move? Does not mean well for this nation. That's nation Nigeria. Whoever did that is a Boko Haram member working with the presidency. So I say, Chinese people, do you think you can come and kill us here? So he's saying, if not clinical tests wrong, why did Spain and Italy reject the Chinese doctors? Nigerian doctors are up to task. Please, government, don't demoralize them. Support them with necessary materials from WHO. Do you know none of the world leaders in WHO allow such doctors into their own country without proper investigation? Not fire brigade approach. It's a lie. I trust my president. I voted for him. Forget it. The Chinese doctors are not coming. Long live my president. You are just speaking your own. By the time they will enter, you will not even know. Nigeria is this bad. They will just, whenever you hear that glimpse of a story coming to the media, check it. There may just not be a smoke. There may not be no smoke without fire. There's, in every rumor there should be some sort of iota of truth in it. Just check it. If they are saying they're not going back, honestly, no going back. They may likely bring in Chinese doctors, and there's really nothing Nigerians can do about it. We're actually good in ranting, unfortunately. But I just hope that maybe this time around, this our rant will save our lives this time. So here's it. Nigerians don't need them. Initially, I thought our doctors wouldn't be up to task, but while I look and as the statistics, I can see they are far better than even the Chinese doctors. I salute you, our indigenous doctors. God will take care of your homes. Amen. Honestly, that's what I expected. A lot of I even expected the medical, the presidency to once in a while, throw some accolades and praises to them. Severally, they've been at the front line. If you need to see them, I had one or two videos of those in disease centers. It's been something else. They've been providing meals. They've been working back to back. Some of them, sometimes they don't have enough protective kits, but they still go there. Honestly, we must celebrate the medical doctors and the medical teams we have in Nigeria. They've been awesome, honestly. Days of Ebola, they came out all en masse. Lassa fever, they came out en masse. This one, too, they are there to, surprising the world. One would have thought that by now Nigeria should be down in that quantum, but God has been too faithful to this country, despite the fact that we lack all the, technological advancement that other countries enjoy. We don't have the best hospital conditions, but we have been showing signs that God has got our back in Nigeria, and we will always get our back in Nigeria. I see no reason why the Chinese are why the president is bringing Chinese into the country, but I felt that there should have been some sort of stakeholders agreement, some sort of stakeholders brainstorming and dialoguing over this, because these are major decisions that other countries took, and there was some diving in their health sector. So I would have expected he should do same. Let there be some sort of stakeholders meeting, feel the pulse of Nigeria over this, and make decisions therein, not insisting that they should bring Chinese doctors. The medical team here are not complaining, so why are you complaining for them? They only ask that the other time nurses in Enugu complain that they don't have any medical kits. There are no medical equipment to take care of patients. They're running out of medical equipment, and these are the things you're talking about. Supply them that, whatever they need to make it happen. Several times Donald Trump will come and say, you guys are the best. He will encourage America and say, you guys are the best, and those are warriors at the forefront fighting and saving lives. God bless. He keeps encouraging them. How many times have our president come out and really encourage our medical doctors? Doctors, kudos, well done. While others are hiding, being isolated, practicing social distances, you've been at the forefront trying to save lives. God bless you. We can't thank you enough as Nigerians. God will keep you and keep your family. But that's how much I can think. Let's go to a comment section. What do you think about what CUPP is saying, calling out President Muhammad Buhari, and Nigerians also agreeing with what CUPP is saying, and President is saying no going back to getting Chinese doctors over this matter? Let's discuss now.